Welcome back to Redbirds Warm-Up. Steve Selvey with you today from AutoZone Park, talking with starting pitcher Deck McGuire, and we're actually going to stay away from baseball a good bit of today. But you know that in our times talking so far this year, we haven't talked Georgia Tech. I mean, engineers, brains, SATs, ACTs. What'd you study at Georgia Tech?
Baseball. Minored in video games. No, but actually was a management major. Georgia Tech, there's pretty much three major types. Business management, which is the majority of the athletes. Communications, which is creative writing, journalism, stuff like that. And then about 400 different kinds of engineering.
And that required study, so you didn't go down that channel.
Actually, really, it's the time commitment, I think, is what a lot of people, because there were a decent amount of baseball players who started out on that path, and majority slowly transitioned their way into business management. There's a lot of labs and stuff that goes beyond your normal 8 a.m. to noon class schedule, and so with practice and everything like that, it was really hard for a lot of guys. Guys were missing practice to go to class and try to be engineers, and so.
But we can't have that.
No. I mean, it ended up being one of those things where they were actually a student before they were an athlete, and that's kind of crazy, I guess. And so, a lot of guys got out of it.
Well, they go to management these days. In my era, everybody went to sociology somewhere down the line and still barely escaped. Deck McGuire against their Redbirds warm-up. Well, we're going to football, and we don't talk much football in here, but every clubhouse has fantasy football going, and everybody has a commish. And you're the commish in 2016. Have you always done this, and you just brought it to the Cardinals?
I'd say it's split a little bit. I've been commissioner before. It sounds like this huge deal or whatever, but I think I only got the job because nobody else wanted it, and so yeah, it's one of those things. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it. I don't mind setting it up, and it's a good time. I think fantasy football is kind of one of those things. As the year winds down, it seems like it really helps guys stay in touch over the off season. For somebody like myself, being a free agent and everything, it kind of is a way to stay in touch with these guys, because who knows who you'll play with going forward. So it's a fun thing to do. It's kind of why I really like being the commissioner, because they'll have to talk to me about some things throughout the course of the off season, and yeah, you get to stay in touch with some of the guys.
So if you're commissioner, does that mean you don't get to have a team of your own?
Oh, no. You still get to have a team. It's just you're the guy that everybody texts when they have a problem, I guess, is really how it goes.
I think you have insider trading. I think there's a lot of illegal stuff, and that's why you've got the gig. Either that or there's cash involved.
I wish. Maybe I should start charging a fee for being the commissioner. Maybe, just like $5 a guy for the season. That'd help out a lot. Got a baby on the way, and so maybe that'd help me buy some diapers.
You're going to need more than $5, Charlie. If you don't understand the diaper business, you're in for a rude awakening. What's the key to winning in fantasy football? Everybody thinks it's quarterback, but there's a lot more to it than that. And, man, you're just an ACL away from see you next year.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically the way my season goes. I'm a big team not last guy. I think my goal is to finish at worst 11th out of 12th. Nobody wants to be the guy who finishes last, but I don't know. I mean, strategy varies guy to guy, league setup to league setup. You got all the points per reception and all these different kind of things. So just kind of something to have fun with and kind of enjoy it as the off season starts. It's something to kind of feel like it eases you into the off season. People think that this off season's great and everything, but it's one of those things where you're so used to a regimented schedule, routine, and everything for basically 8 straight months. It's kind of nice to have something to just kind of get your mind away from baseball.
So if you could pick anybody, who's your first pick? Because you won't get to pick first anyway.
No. We have the draft order set. I think I got the 3rd pick, so a lot of it will depend on who goes 1 and 2. There's a couple guys that got my eye on, and we'll just see how it goes.
So you won't spill the beans as if he thinks his 24 teammates will be listening to the pregame show to find out his strategy.
Hey, you never know. There's people take fantasy football way more serious than I ever could have imagined when I first started playing, and I guess that's kind of what makes it fun. We are athletes. We compete, and we love to compete in whatever it is. And,
well, it also just gives you another reason to talk smack in the clubhouse.
Which is never a bad thing.
But for me, and I'm too lazy anyway to go through this, the other is then you end up rooting against your own favorite teams because you're worried about this tight end here or this running back there, or can a kicker make a field goal or something like that. And you got to be miserable and just throwing things at the TV, although that Red Zone channel is now a winner for you guys.
I think fantasy football for me is one of those things where I never really had an NFL team growing up. Being in Virginia, we had the Redskins or the Ravens, but I've always kind of been, I don't want to like who everybody else likes, and so I never really had a favorite pro team. I'm more of a college football guy, and so the NFL for me, or especially fantasy football, is just really fun because I don't have necessarily a team that I root for. I guess now that I live in Denver, the Broncos, but it's one of those things where I just enjoy it. It gives me a reason to watch on Sundays. I've always been a big football fan, played my whole life, so it's just one of those things. I mean, I'm sure there's guys who are definitely torn when they're rooting against their own defense, hoping for a blowout.
Well, Virginia, not Redskins, not Ravens. There's no doubt about it. This guy's a diehard Richmond Spider fan. Deck McGuire's been our guest. We'll have more from the ballpark after this.